Her late husband showed up during her wedding. Episode 1. She attended his funeral with her own eyes wide open, watching every moment from the beginning till the end. She saw him lying peacefully, saw him being given his final farewell, saw the tears, the prayers, the last goodbyes. And when the coffin was finally lowered, she watched his handsome face disappear under the earth. That was the moment she accepted she would never see him again. Not in this world, not in this lifetime. Life had taken him too soon. Just months after their wedding, he was gone. "My husband, I beg, not leave me so," she sobbed in pidgin English. She moaned, she healed slowly, and eventually, after a year or more, she met someone new. Someone who brought light back into her heart. So when their wedding day finally came, she believed the past was behind her. She believed she was ready to love again. But life had its own script. Because on that faithful wedding day, the day she wanted to rewrite her story, something happened that shocked everyone. Her late husband showed up. The whole city was buzzing with excitement that morning. It was her wedding day, and everything had been arranged perfectly. The court hall was already decorated. White and gold ribbons flowed across the chairs. The reception hall looked like heaven, with balloons, flowers, and sparkling lights. In the compound, women worked tirelessly in the kitchen. Pots were steaming, spices filled the air, and laughter mingled with the aroma of food. Drinks were being loaded into trucks, heading to the halls. The caterers were on their feet decorating tables, while the decorator's ladder moved from one corner to another as she placed the final touches. The council court hall was half filled already. Guests sat chatting, smiling, checking the time. Some were dressed so beautifully as if it were their own wedding. Everyone was waiting for the final court ceremony before joining the couple for the church wedding later that afternoon. The groom sat in the front row, adjusting his suit repeatedly. He was nervous, not because he didn't want the marriage, but because he had suffered heartbreaks before. Many disappointments, many wrong relationships. He couldn't believe he finally found the one meant for him. Meanwhile, the bride was still in her room with her best friend, who was also her chief bridesmaid. "I'm so happy," she said, smiling at her own reflection. "I finally met my Superman. He's the love of my life. And he trusts me. When everything happened 2 months ago, I opened up to him about my past, and he still believed in me. You know we all have things we don't want anyone to know." Her bestie rolled her eyes playfully. "I've told you to stop repeating that line. Before someone hears you and starts causing drama, you'll now start crying that somebody wants to break your marriage plans." Both women laughed. It was her wedding day. She was the queen just for that day, and the queen of her groom's heart forever. The groom had already completed the traditional rites. All that remained was the court signing, the church blessing, and the grand celebration in the evening. They merged all events into one day to manage costs, and because the groom had limited time before returning to work. But as minutes passed, the mayor, the guests, everyone, even the groom, started getting worried. She was almost an hour late. "What is keeping my beautiful bride this long?" the groom murmured restlessly. "Please call her." His best man was just pulling out his phone when someone shouted, "She's here!" A wave of relief washed over the hall as the bride's convoy entered. Cameras flashed, guests clapped, and people stood up to admire her beauty. She looked breathtaking, like she stepped out of a dream. The mayor wasted no time. After the opening words and the marriage advice session, he asked the witnesses to stand by. Then came the traditional announcement. "If there is anyone here who has any reason why this couple should not be joined in marriage, speak now or remain silent forever." Silence. Complete silence. Until a deep voice echoed from the back of the hall. "I have something to say. That woman standing there as the bride is my legal wife." The hall went dead silent. People slowly turned, afraid to even breathe. Standing there, dressed in a white suit that almost glowed, was a man few of them recognized. The bride's heart dropped. Her bouquet nearly fell from her hands. Fansu, you're supposed to be gone. I was at your funeral. I saw everything. I saw you being covered. The hall erupted into whispers and gasps. Some people held on to each other. Some took steps backwards. The man who looked exactly like her late husband stood calmly watching her with the same eyes he used to look at her with. Everyone was confused, shocked, terrified. Was this real? Was it a dream? Was it something beyond human understanding? Wasai Kolat wonders no go end. Slangs came up in pidgin. Do you want more of the story? Episode 2.